Tonight, Scott Bolden, Democratic strategist and former D.C. Democrat Party chair, Derek Hunter, contributing editor to the Daily Caller, and Bree Payton, staff writer for The Federalist. Welcome to all of you.
Thank you.
Scott, I'll start with you. Does the GOP have any real chance here?
As long as Donald Trump is in the president in the White House, the Republicans don't have a chance in regard to the 2018 elections. And while this Congressional 5 district may be leaning to the Republicans and have conservatives, 45% are independents and Republican moderates. That gives them a chance. But every day Donald Trump tweets, every day he passes a policy where 65% of this country disagrees with it. The key for Democrats is finding a great candidate, a conservative Democrat with a great public service resume, and one that can build coalitions with the independents and moderate Republicans, and I think it'll stay Democratic.
Derek, does SD do them a favor, the Democrats, by stepping away? So now whoever does run is not running with having to talk about the scandal all the time.
They're still going to have to talk about this scandal. What Congresswoman SD did in her statement right after the reading there stopped, she wrote, "In Congress and in workplaces across the country, we need to make stronger workplace protections." She takes blame and then says, but it's everybody's fault. And that's the attitude. We saw it with Harvey Weinstein. Oh, it's horrible. Society has really done a disservice to women here. It's like, no, you did. Congresswoman, you did it. So if Republicans can find a way to message on that and say, it's not our fault, we didn't do this, you did this, they can win. With Scott talking about this, I had to check the year. Is it 2016? Because you just replace the name Donald Trump, make him the candidate, and there's no way Donald Trump can win.
Oh, he's the candidate. In every race, he's going to be the candidate.
And he's at 50% approval rating, and he won the presidency.
He will not be in Connecticut.
Well, he shouldn't waste the gas, but
let's
still, doesn't mean he'll lose.
Bree, I mean, what do you think? He's been underestimated before, but listen, presidents historically do not do well in the first midterm after their election to the White House.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, honestly, both parties are scrambling, and we can see that by the fact that there's been a lot of names floated. None of them have been really solid or really pushed by any one sort of party. Both parties are scrambling on this issue. Yes, that congressional district that we are talking about is the most Democratic district in the whole state of Connecticut, or I'm sorry, Republican in the state of Connecticut. But there's more independent voters than voters that are affiliated with any party. So either party is going to have to work really hard in order to get people's votes in that district. And I think, that you're right when you bring up the point that just the fact that a Democratic woman took 3 months to fire someone with offenses so egregious is going to spur a lot of conversations about the Democratic Party. Are they really the party that's for women? Are they really the party that, is keeping their fingers clean, as we were talking about this Me Too movement? What do they really stand for? Who are they? There's going to be a lot of questions that are set forth.
And now they're going to have to spend money on a seat in a race that they otherwise wouldn't have had to.
Yeah, I do want to get to topic 2, because I want to get you all quickly to weigh in on this. This is the Sinclair stations where the anchors all read statements across different cities, and people freaked out, including, Dan Rather, who said this: news anchors looking into camera and reading a script handed down by a corporate overlord. Words meant to obscure the truth, not elucidate it, isn't journalism. It's propaganda. It's Orwellian, a slippery slope to how despots wrest power, silence dissent, and oppress the masses. I don't know if you guys have read it, but I read the script of I didn't watch the whole video, but I read the script of what they said. There's no mention of conservatives or of Trump. They say the truth is not left or right. Are people inferring too much, Derek?
They pledged to do honest journalism, and that scares the heck out of people like Dan Rather, he's and CNN. So it's funny, because if you do read the statement, if you do listen to the entire thing, it really is, we are going to be straight, honest journalists, and God forbid that exist in 2018.
And they do also include, Scott, a statement that says, if you don't think we're being fair, here's how you call and report it to us. So.
Well, God bless them, but the reality is it doesn't matter what the rhetoric is that they promote. And by the way, they're trying to get their acquisition of these other conservative stations approved by the FCC and DOJ. And his code words in this document include fake news. But you put that aside, the reality is that I don't think people are as upset about the statement, because it is kind of content neutral. But the reality is when you juxtapose that and compare that to Sinclair and the conservative rhetoric rhetoric and the rantings and ravings on all
And the
these
X-Files all of a sudden.
Why does
I got to tell you, it's
CNN
completely inconsistent with the content neutral
Gotta bring in
statement.
Bree here,
That's
so
why it's a
yeah,
problem.
Why does CNN get to do these kind of ads? Why does CNN get to go out there and say, oh, an apple's an apple is an apple, and is winking at things, and we all know what they're inferring, and that's perfectly
Because an
fine and
apple is an
wonderful.
apple. Tell
Okay,
me,
but they're
tell
doing
me
the
what
exact same
rantings they
thing.
do.
Sinclair's statement is like
I watch
pretty
CNN
close.
a lot, and I work with CNN a lot.
You don't want to
Yeah,
start that
but-
discussion because I have a feeling Bree's got a lot to say about that.